Hey all, Steve from GuitarNiche here. On the bench we have a Gibson SJ-200 Pete Townsend model. But wait, is it really Gibson? Or does it chib? I can tell you with 100% conviction that this in fact is a copy, and I'm going to point out a few little details that tell me it's so. Okay, one is this is just not in the right place. The badge is way too high. The bell is actually not too bad. Here's a shot with the truss rod cover removed. What do we see? Nothing. If that's not a dead giveaway, I don't know what is. So the truss rod adjuster is way inside there, which is really not a Gibson-y thing. The nut is not cut. Simply doesn't have the right geometry. It's just not made correctly for this instrument. It's not refined. Just looking at the side dots, they are sloppy. They're simply too far down in the midst of the binding. The inlays are sloppy. The fretwork, even if this was a refret, it's just not cutting it. The inlay work here for the signature itself, it just doesn't stand out. The fretboard material is just far too just not done well, let's say. And the work around the binding is sloppy, totally sloppy, right? But it does have this fabulous bridge, which is done pretty well, and it is a solid top, and it's got a beautiful striped maple back on it. Mind you, that's going to be laminate. And it's really pretty, I'll say that, but it's not the real deal. Simple as that. And, more joinery here. You can see where the center stripe here is not centered. Simple as that. Everybody has their production issues, but this is just so far off the map. But it's a good fake. It's a deep fake, but it's a good fake. And look there's a scarf joint there. You can see obviously, and the tuners are just not standing up. The they're not Grovers. They look like Grovers, but they're not. And one way you can tell is that the actual name it looks puffy. It's not nice and refined and clear and all that stuff. It's just not there, right? But at the end of the day, it is what it is. The fellow who owns it is happy with it. I see both sides of the situation. On one side, we have, those folks that want to get something that looks really cool at a fraction of the cost, because there's the the mentality that these products are just way overpriced, and there is some credence to that. But at the same time, you are supporting counterfeit materials, which doesn't do anybody any good at the end of the day. Really. And then again, you have the company itself, which is top heavy in a lot of players' eyes, and somewhat catering to those who have a little bit more cashola than other folks. So there's all sorts of ways you can look at it. If you have any comments about this sort of thing, please do leave say something in the comments section below. But I do have my opinions. If it's a good guitar, I don't care what it says on the headstock, really. I'm brand blind. I've seen way too many instruments that have no business being as nice as they are, as cool as they are, as robust and amazing sounding as they are without a pedigree. And then the converse of that would be the instruments that people pay thousands of dollars for and sound and play like junk. You service enough guitars, you see it all. Anyway, that's my story. Hope you get, some sort of interest out of that. And I will say thanks for coming out. As always, play loud, have fun, have a great day. Cheers. See ya.